Well, good morning and Merry Christmas, friends. I hope wherever you are celebrating today that you are warm and safe and in the presence, either physically or in spirit, of ones that you love. I am so grateful that I get to do this journey with all of you. And so on Christmas, I just wanted to take a second to wish you all a Merry Christmas and then also just share something with you. Recently in our family, we got this new book. It's called The Book of Belonging, and the subtitle on it is Bible Stories for Kind and Contemplative Kids. And it has a bunch of really great takes on classic Bible stories that we all know and love. And today, in honor of Christmas, and since we didn't read the Christmas story last night at our service, which if you missed, check out the links. It's on YouTube, Facebook. We'd love to have you join us for that as we kind of process through more of Scott Erickson's Honest Advent as it relates to Christmas. But we didn't read the Christmas story. And so today, I want to take a second and read the Christmas story, a take on the Christmas story out of this book. So here we go. This is titled The Kids Who Heard the Good News, based off of Luke 2. And it gives a note that Miriam is also called Mary, Yosef is also called Joseph, and Yeshua is also called Jesus. So here's what it says. Snores and snuffles filled the cool night air as a flock of sheep snuggled in the grass. In the distant city glowed and grumbled. Across the field from the sheep, the shepherds chatted around their campfire. Shepherding was a job for the young, and most of them were the babies of their family. Gathered there, they looked like their own kind of flock, some tall and lean, some short and round, each one of them strong in the legs and quick with a sling. "Phew, you stink," one shepherd said to her friend. "We're shepherds," he responded. "Stinking is the best part of the job." And they all giggled. Shepherding was dirty, smelly work, and most of the important people in Bethlehem wanted nothing to do with this flock of kids. And that's why they were there, sleeping in the fields outside of town, with the grass as their mattress and the stars for a blanket. Yawning and cozy, the shepherds began to settle in for the night, but a sudden flash of light startled them all. Like a star visiting Earth. Someone, appeared next to the campfire, glowing brighter and warmer than its flames. The shepherds screamed and fell to the ground as the sheep looked on. This was not like any person they had ever seen before. Then someone shimmered and shone, with a voice like a warm wind as it ruffled the grass around them. There's this beautiful illustration. Try and get that in frame. Don't be afraid. I have good news to share that will fill everyone's heart with delight. Tonight in your little town, a baby has been born. He's the one you've been waiting for, the Messiah. The shepherd girls and boys peeked up from their hiding places to peer at the messenger. "It must be an angel," whispered one. Scooch, nudge, shuffle. Slowly they stood and inched closer, drawn to the dazzling warmth. The angel smiled and continued to speak in that voice that filled the fields. "This will be a sign for you. You will find this special baby all wrapped up and sleeping in a feeding trough." The shepherds almost giggled at the thought. If this baby is so special, why would they put him in a place where animals snort and drool and gobble their food? But the almost giggles faded away into wonder as the sky above burst into riotous color and harmony. Like 1,000 suns rising, gold, lavender, orange, pink, crimson, angels crowded the horizon. Hundreds, thousands, millions, gazillions, all singing with gleeful celebration. Praise, praise, praise. Heaven meets earth. May our celebration and delight rise above the stars, and may God's peace be with the people. Oh, what a celebration it was. It would have squeezed and stretched your heart if you'd been there. Like the most beautiful sight you'd ever seen, and the most wonderful song you'd ever heard, all at the same time. The sheep, the angels, and the shepherds danced and cried and stared and sang. And when the final note faded away on the last ribbon of light, the shepherds all spoke at once. Was that real? Was it a dream? The Messiah is here? Why did they tell us? Nobody ever tells us anything. And they cried because their eyes had seen something of heaven. And they grinned with that shy, special mix of disbelief and pride. And feeling important for once in their lives, they chased one another, tumble bumble back toward the town to see for themselves what God had announced. Imagine them, a group of stinky kids running wild through the streets, peeking in the windows, knocking on doors, being shooed and shouted at until, look, over there, wait for me. They found him. His parents' eyes shimmered and danced as the kids clamored to tell their story. Miriam, Mary, and Joseph, had marvelous angel stories of their own to share. There were many hugs and happy tears, and then a deep, warm, holy silence as they all stared into the feeding trough. Because there lay Yeshua, Jesus, the rescuer the angels sang about. Did the shepherds know the whole story of who they were looking at? Do we ever really know the whole story of who we are looking at? Maybe they knew, and maybe they didn't. Maybe like us, they had peeks and nudges of God's Spirit and God's plan as they ran into the streets, shouting the good news and singing everything in their happy hearts. But God knew. God had always known from the beginning. I belong with you, and you belong with me. You are my beloved. In a garden, in a family, in a tabernacle, in a kingdom, and now in a person. Heaven and earth bound up in a baby, the hope of the whole world. Well, friends, may you have hope this Christmas, and may you find belonging, and may you feel love and peace and joy. Know that you are loved, that we at Vermilion First United Methodist Church are so glad that you belong with us, and that we belong with you. And may this Christmas you be invited to help others find belonging and hope